We do not believe it's appropriate to place new or alternative technology development costs on the backs of our ratepayers. Arkansas is currently blessed to have the 5th lowest electricity cost in this nation, and the Arkansas electric utilities would like to keep it that way as long as possible, particularly in light of the high percentage of our customers and members that live below the poverty line. I appreciate this opportunity to share these legal and economic pieces of data with you, and at this time I'd be happy to answer any questions the chairman of the committee has for me.
Yes, we have a question for Senator Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to review those costs that you said, 5 cents per megawatt for traditional, is that correct?
5 cents per kilowatt hour for our current embedded generation cost, and the costs for solar power are approximately 50 cents per kilowatt hour.
And you said it was about 31?
Well, that's $31 per megawatt hour, but that would be a little over 3 cents per kilowatt hour.
And when you figure that 3 cents per kilowatt hour, is that taking into account the tax credit, or is that your actual? That
takes into consideration the tax credit, yes, sir. If it weren't for the tax credit, it would be much more than that.
Do you know how much it would be without tax credit?
No, sir. I think, and this would not include the transmission costs either. It would be slightly above probably the cost of our current embedded generation costs. Wind is more cost competitive when it's a large-scale wind farm as opposed to a distributed project. Large-scale projects are a lot more cost-effective, and wind is far more cost-effective than solar.
So in the event that tax credit goes away, do you think you would continue those contracts? Or?
Well, we entered into a 20-year purchase power agreement at that fixed price. If it were not for that fixed price, we would not be able to afford wind.
Thank you, Senator Henry. Any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next to speak against the bill would be Mr. Frank Kelly.
Get that straight, right?
My name is Frank Kelly. I'm chairman of the Arkansas Renewable Energy Association, and I'm actually up here to speak for the bill. Okay, thank you very much. I printed off what I have up here in a PowerPoint presentation that may have enough copies for everyone. I'd like to start off with a few comments from a recent discovery that I found on the internet. It's called "The Mix Matters." With the right mix, reliable, affordable power will always be a reality in Arkansas. And the goal is to stay ahead of Arkansas's energy needs and lead the way for a balanced approach to providing reliable, affordable power. Arkansas, the meter is running. You see, our population keeps growing, and so do our energy demands. We keep looking for energy solutions we can produce right here in Arkansas. Ones that can fuel our energy independence. Ones that are sustainable and affordable. Thankfully, the answers to our energy needs are all around us, flowing through our rivers, blowing through our trees. They're even sitting right below our feet. And with the right mix of these resources, reliable, affordable power will always be a reality in Arkansas. The smart solution to providing the power we need is to do what's best for the environment and the people. By using a balanced combination of resources, the right mix of resources is essential to power everything we love, everything that's cool. See, the answer to our energy needs is not focusing on one resource. It's embracing them all. When we stop using a balanced approach to generate our power, prices will go up, and there's nothing cool about that. The solution to generating reliable, affordable power is using the right mix of resources to build our community and to power our dreams. And we're ahead of the game. The meter's running, Arkansas. Understand for yourself why the mix matters. See why there's power in knowledge. This opening statement is not my own. I found these comments I just made on the website of the Arkansas Electric Cooperatives. They have a new public relations campaign called The Mix Matters. Evidently, the AEC is perfectly happy with the current mix of energy generation, despite the fact that it sounds nothing like the reality of the situation. Currently, Arkansas generates electricity from 3 main sources: coal, nuclear, and natural gas. These 3 energy sources comprise 92% of the total generation in the state. The remaining 8% is made up of decades-old hydroelectric facilities that were installed 40+ years ago, bioenergy plants, and a fraction of a percent from new renewable energy purchases from out-of-state wind developments. In-state wind and solar generation represents 0.1% of energy generation, not enough to show up on any pie chart. House Bill 1390 sets out a requirement that 5% of our generation should come from new renewable energy installations. It requires that all of this generation must be within the borders of Arkansas, and that all of the development costs, the upkeep, the maintenance, and the insurance expenses shall be borne by the renewable energy developer. This chart shows a hypothetical look at what 5% of new renewable energy generation might look like. As you can see, it is not drastically different from our current mix. However, it is a first step toward a mix that matters. HB 1390 will reward the actual generation of electricity and nothing else. I have been in the financial services industry for over 30 years. By placing my clients' interests ahead of my own in a fiduciary manner, I enjoy many long-term relationships going back to the earliest days of my career. My clients have entrusted me to help them plan their financial future through the curveballs of life and the peaks and valleys of investing their short and long-term retirement savings. The only way I know to ensure my clients will achieve a successful retirement is to balance and diversify their assets. We know that we do not want all of our assets acting the same way. We know that we must hold different type assets to smooth out the roller coaster ride that will always be with us. HB 1390 is a modest first step in developing a truly diversified portfolio of energy generation in Arkansas. If for no other reason, the fact that the initial steps towards more secure, sustainable energy means that we will truly have a more diversified portfolio should be reason enough to support this legislation. This chart would not, let me back up one, this chart would not represent suitable diversification for a real-life investment portfolio, but it certainly is more representative of the right mix of resources to ensure that reliable, affordable power will always be a reality in Arkansas. Now this map shows the renewable energy systems installed in Arkansas as a result of the Renewable Energy Technology Rebate Program, a pilot program that was launched in 2010. The red markers are for solar electric installations, the blue for wind, and the green are for solar hot water installations. The renewable energy systems installed since 2001 as a result of net metering and this pilot program are mostly owned by mom and pop developers. It is important to remember that regardless of the source of energy, it is easier to conserve energy through energy efficiency measures than it is to create it, regardless of the energy source. Our future will be more secure if we adopt new renewable energy sources, make our structures more efficient, and use our existing resources more wisely. We fully expect that energy generation from bioresources will be a large percentage of the meager 5% created under this bill. This map shows the plant-based potential in Arkansas. There is also an enormous potential for animal and human waste streams that would fall under the renewable energy umbrella. Certain areas of the state are ripe for both small wind Certain areas of the state are ripe for both small and large wind installations. Embracing renewable energy is not a Republican or Democrat issue. 8 of the top 10 states with wind installations are considered Republican-leading states. It is projected that we have 6 times the number of suitable rooftops in Arkansas to create all of our electricity. No one expects that to happen, but the potential is certainly there. HB 1390 would mean that some of the renewable energy installations in Arkansas would indeed be solar. 7 of the top 10 states with solar installations are considered Democrat-leaning states. Every energy source we have ever used and are currently using has been subsidized from their very beginning through today. The fossil fuel industry has enjoyed 40+ years of subsidies. This infographic represents just 7 years out of many decades of subsidies. I think we would all be spoiled by 40 years of startup capital if we were the beneficiaries like the fossil fuel industries have been. It is important to know that HB 1390 is not a subsidy. HB 1390 means that we pay for renewable energy development the same way we pay for all of our other energy generation sources, slowly over time. Arkansas can't wait. The meter's running, Arkansas. Understand for yourself why the mix matters. See why there's power in knowledge. Now, I wanted to respectfully disagree with some of the comments that the prior speaker made. And there are numerous states, and municipalities, and local governments who have enacted similar legislation. They are not violating the FERC rules. HB 1390 has specific language to assure that it would not violate FERC rules. So the other comment is, and we addressed this 2 years ago in this very room. Unfortunately, I don't know what year it was, electric co-ops was 2009 or 2010, they installed their system. I don't think they used an in-state installer, but they way overpaid for their solar installation. We pointed that out to them in 2009 and thought that, or 2011, and thought we'd love to sell them more of them at that price. But the price of solar today, right now today, is 9 cents a kilowatt hour. The price of solar has dropped like 60% in the last 3 years. One final comment I'd like to make is that right now in the Little Rock metropolitan area, there is over 3 megawatts of solar being installed on 2 of the Veterans Administration campuses. They're building parking lot canopies and they're covering them with solar. At the VA complex in North Little Rock, it's a 1.3 megawatt solar array. The VA complex at UAMS, it's a 1.9 megawatt solar array. The other final comment I wanted to make is that 1,200 megawatts represents 5% of Arkansas's current generation. We waste we waste probably 3 times that because our buildings are so inefficient. But we lose that much every single year running electricity on high transmission lines and trying to deliver it to the outlet that this computer is plugged into. Thank you very much.